Today we're going to talk about content repurposing hacks, how to repurpose content like crazy. One of the big things that I want to share that so many people don't realize is that not all content makes sense on all platforms. Got it? Not all content makes sense on all platforms. Drop a yes if you agree. So many times brands, business owners, social media managers will literally take the content that they create and in their own words, they say, we throw it up everywhere else. And it doesn't get any results. And I'm like, of course it doesn't get any results because you just said that you just throw it up everywhere. That doesn't sound like intention-based content creation to me. Drop a yes if you're like, I totally could not agree more, because the truth is that is not intention-based content creation. Okay, let's talk about what to do. Basically, if two platforms are similar enough, your content from one platform can work on the next as well. Cool? So I like to call these sister platforms, and we've discovered a bunch of different sister platform workflows that actually make sense versus the whole mentality of just throwing content up and seeing what happens and then honestly not being super thrilled with the results. Drop a yes if you're stoked about this, okay? So let's go ahead and dive on it. We have 11 content repurposing workflows today, so we gotta move. We got a lot going on. Okay, so number one is TikTok to IG Reels. So you create in TikTok and then you repurpose them to IG Reels. Now, some people ask, can you repurpose from IG Reels to TikTok? Yes, we'll talk about that in a second, but we'll also talk about why it is not as actively powerful. Got it? Drop a yes if you're following exactly what I'm putting down, okay? So number one is TikTok to IG Reels. You can do one of two methodologies in order to make this repurposing workflow make sense. One is to screen record the preview before you post. I don't personally prefer this method. Two is to use snaptic.app on desktop for free. And that's how I personally repurpose my TikToks in order to get them onto IG Reels without the watermark. Which one of those would you rather do? One or two? Drop a one or a two in the chat for me, okay? So that is the first workflow that just makes sense. And I'm not going to share with you guys the workflows that some people swear by if I personally haven't found that the platforms are sisters platforms that make a ton of sense. So let's go to number two. By the way, drop a one if you're like, that is the workflow that I would like to use. That one makes a ton of sense to my brain. Okay, so number two is IG Reels to TikTok. Now, this one is not my favorite in the world because the thing that you need to keep in mind about IG Reels is that it doesn't really have its own culture with trends and challenges and things that originated on this platform. Keep that in mind. So while you can create content and ultimately push it out to TikTok, it's not going to perform as well because it's about 6 weeks behind. It's kind of like if you were to wear our US culture fashion, the current fashion, to, let's say, Japan. They would be like, oh, that's so 3 to 6 years ago, right? Because we got our fashion from them from 3 to 6 years ago. Some of you guys know this to be the case. Drop a yes if you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I personally do not prefer this one, but is it possible? Sure, it can work. Not everyone from TikTok has seen every single trend, so even if it's late, it can work, but it can work well for organic, evergreen educational content that doesn't have to do with trends. Cool? All right, drop a two if that sounds amazing to you, okay? And you're like, I'm totally gonna use that. By the way, drop a one if you're like, actually, I'll just use the TikTok to IG strategy because that makes a lot more sense to my brain. Number three is Instagram posts being repurposed on LinkedIn. This one works fantastically well, especially if it's business related or value or education related content. So IG posts that are static posts being shared onto LinkedIn can work incredibly well. Got it? This is one that I absolutely love. Drop a three if you're like, I'm totally going to use this. But just remember that you want to use less hashtags on LinkedIn than you do on any other platform, okay? So number 3, it's a pretty decent one. It's worked pretty darn well for us, okay? Drop a 3 if that's one that you're gonna try. Number 4 is using static IG posts on your Facebook page. This one can also work really well, and it makes a lot of sense, and it feels super appropriate for the platform. So keep this in mind. This one has, generally speaking, worked really well in our opinion. So static IG posts direct to the Facebook page. If you're gonna try this one, drop a 4 in the chat. And this is 11 content repurposing hacks and workflows that make sense. And I'm gonna share all of the workflows at the end of this video, plus an added value gift. Cool? Okay, so what number are we on? Number 5. You also can use Facebook posts on IG. And you may be saying, which ones though? Your Facebook posts from your profile or your page? Both. Both of them work fantastically well on your Instagram. So I'm a big fan of taking your Facebook posts from both your profile and your page and pushing them out to your Instagram. Cool? So drop a 5 if you're like, oh my gosh, I would totally do that. That makes so much sense to my brain. Okay? So number 5. Number 6, I'm gonna double up on paper because some of these are really cool. Emails full of value can make for great Facebook group posts once you add a picture. I am a huge fan of doubling down on value and making sure that people see it. And I oftentimes find that when people don't see emails, they extra appreciate when you share it inside of Facebook groups with a picture. This is a great way to make those emails do double the time, double the work, get double the results if you already put in the work. So drop a 6 if that's one that you are going to try, okay? Number 7, now I'm going to put an asterisk here because it's not always the case. Sometimes IG stories can be absolutely awesome on TikTok. Most of the time, no. Very, very few people do IG stories really, really well in a way that would make sense on TikTok, but it can happen, which is kind of cool. So if you're someone who has really interesting IG stories or even Snapchat stories, right, you could repurpose those onto TikTok. So drop a 7 if you're like, yep, I have a client that it would be perfect for. Number 8, Facebook Lives to YouTube. Now this only works if the video is recorded with YouTube in mind, in the back of your mind. These can work really, really well. So Facebook Lives going straight to YouTube, those can be an awesome workflow as long as you're thinking about the YouTube strategy while you're recording the Facebook Lives. Drop an 8 if you're like, I could use this one and I have clients using this one, or rather, I have clients that I could use this one for. The next big one is when you record YouTube videos, you can strip the audio and put them on the podcast, but only if you are recording the YouTube videos with a podcast in mind. Sometimes this feels funny when you're asking people to comment, or you're like, check out the bio beneath this video, or you are recording a YouTube video without thinking about the people who are watching, or rather just listening on the podcast platform. And while this isn't my favorite one, I've heard of some people building massive podcasts just by repurposing all of their YouTube videos. But a lot of my videos are very visual, and it can be difficult to grab all of those podcast audios from YouTube videos without people being like, I'm missing something here, okay? And you ready for it? Number 10, this only works if you don't use trending audio or copyright audio, because there's one platform that takes copyright very, very seriously. By the way, drop a 7, 8, or a 9 if you're gonna try any of those 3, okay? If you're gonna try any of those 3, drop it in the comments. And number 10, this only works on original audio content, and that is TikTok to YouTube Shorts. Got it? You can repurpose your TikToks to YouTube Shorts. I have not actually done this one as much as I would like to, but this can be a great workflow for so many people. So if you're gonna try TikTok to YouTube Shorts, comment number 10 below. And of course, I'm going to share with you the 10 different workflows in the comments beneath this video. We'll go ahead and pin it. And then we also have for you my ultimate social media marketing bundle. So you can grab that from the comments and from the bio underneath this video. So feel free to grab that. And I will see you guys later. By the way, comment below and let me know what you've gotten the most value from in this video. And I will catch you guys later. Bye for now. Where's the live video? Come on, video. Let's go. I think I stressed my computer out too much because it is saying no right now.